Dun, 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 dun. Hello? Or should I say morning? Morning. uh, it was fine. I worked today. Now I'm home, and I did like an hour stream where I just went, and then now I'm coaching you. I tried to play Project M in between that stream, but that didn't happen. So that's kind of sad. But it is. It's kind of goaded. It's kind of goaded. But yeah. But you, how has your day been? How was waking up? Didn't? Oh, have you just stayed up? Okay. Since you mentioned you're taking notes, do you have any like preliminary notes before we get started? Like to mention? Yes.
I'm looking for one thing only, and I really hyperfixate on that. So in my case, I was like, okay, I'll pick Batman because he looks cool, and I can hyperfixate on Oki and corner shit and do that. Because well, neutral isn't my best thing because I'm just bad at looking out for stuff. When it comes to specifics, um, I have like a sheet that I've like constructed of like things I
Uh,
need to be better at.
we can go over specifics later.
Hmm.
Um, but especially if like I cross paths with something that you wrote down, that is probably pretty helpful. But we can go over specifics later. But like over your broad sense, you said that like you struggle with neutral, and then you said that well, do you tend to hyperfixate on your Oki setups and stuff like that?
No, not on Oki because I do a very pretty varied Oki. Like I think that's my strongest point. But what I mean is like when someone displays like a behavior in neutral, like jam does dash up 6H, jam does dash up like command dash, something like that. I tend to really like fixate on that and try to call that out, ignoring that she also has Ryujin YRC. She also has the best air dash. She also has like all these other tools that are supposed that they're showing, but I'm not adapting to what's being shown to me. I'm not good at that, and that's probably my biggest issue that I have right now.
Um, uh, Before we go on and actually get started, what's your general experience in fighting games?
I've played fighting games for quite a long time, I think, since 2017. I started playing I started playing on Fightcade, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Heritage for the Future. Uh, I left that behind me like 2 years ago. Um, because in my opinion, the game is just not that fun anymore.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You grow out of games. But
True.
I never really stopped playing fighting games, so I played. I always play like with a friend group. Casual arms race, I like to call it, where we all pick up a game consecutively, and then we only play each other, and we don't really play like randoms, and like it's fun because you keep up with each other that way.
Right.
But I do have tried to like break out a couple times of like, okay, I'm gonna try to take this game seriously. One of the games that happened to me was Unist back then. I got decent at Unist. I played Merkava on that game. Another Oki monster, I know.
Yeah.
um, but
I mean,
yeah,
he's an Oki
the
monster,
delay in
but
that
like in a
game.
different way.
What did you say?
He's an Oki monster, but like in a slightly different way.
Yeah, he's different, but I liked having really big buttons to carry me in neutral, and I like his design. That's why I play characters, not really because of their like archetype. If I like how a character looks, I'll put up with whatever.
Okay.
That's like number one thing for me. But yeah, too bad that game
So
doesn't have
you'd
rollback.
say that like your experience playing fighting games and your experience in learning fighting games.
With learning, um, I tend to learn really quickly and then plateau really quickly. Not to
Okay,
say
so
I get good quick, but I mean to
so
say that like there's like a like let's say there's like a sheet of information of like every new player needs to know this, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'll write that down, and I train on that. And then it says every intermediate player needs to know, like needs to be able how to do this, and that's where I'm starting to like struggle.
okay.
I get to like competence quickly, but I don't grow past that at all. It's like I plateau really quickly.
Okay, so for tonight, I guess we'll try to hyper focus on neutral interactions, and then we'll talk about a lot about the reasons why you should be doing stuff. Because I find that like people plateau a lot, tend to take in all the information, right? They absorb it like a sponge, but because they're absorbing information, they never understand a why for something. And that honestly turns into why they struggle to break barriers because they'll look at like say and they might not understand a decision that's being made or something to that effect, right? So
Okay.
I'll make sure that we'll take that approach as we go through this. But do you have any final thoughts before I start looking at you playing a gauntlet of soul players?
Yeah. Oh, a Gauntlet of Soul players, definitely. I love Batman. I think he's dope, and I really want to get better at Exart in general because I think the game itself is dope. It's not perfect, no fighting game is, but it's something that I'm really enjoying to do. And yeah, I'd like to be able to gauge better. I'd like to be able to gauge what I should do better than neutral and look at where I should be applying correct risk reward versus like when I'm able to risk something and when I'm able to when I need to like do something safe. Like if I get that like the start of that insight, I'd be really happy because that would help me put me on the right path, I think.
Okay, so your first games are against Stale Devil, which I believe is the tournament organizer, right? In
Yes, that's
Europe.
a tournament organizer from
Yeah,
Hearts are Blazing.
yeah, he posts a lot. Now, as we know about Bedman, he doesn't have a lot of good matchups, and Soul Bad Guy is definitely one of his worsts.
Mm-hmm.
But something of note that I like to say is that there are two styles of Soul Bad Guy players. There's the style that you can beat and the style that you can't beat. Okay, and I'll be very impressed if Stale Devil plays the style that you can't beat. Okay, but if he does play the style that you can beat, we're going to talk about how you can beat that style.
Stale is like infamous for if he has 100 meter, he will dragon install. If he gets gold burst, he will dragon install. He's like famous for it. It's like his thing, which is fine. If you're able to win with it, then it's fine. Um, so I think he falls into the category of you can beat. He DPs a lot. He does a lot of like high risk shit, but he also mixes up his options well. And then there are souls like Jason Riot, who just hold down back and just call you out on your bullshit and then adapt before you can even think that, oh wait, this is a pattern I'm doing.
Okay. I always like to start these coaching sessions by asking you, what do you think your round start option is in this matchup?
Soul for S beats Batman for S pretty consistently, and from if he makes you block for S, he can whiff cancel it into 2S to make it more safe. I don't backdash on round start because he has Fafnir, and I don't think Bandit Bringer hits that. But I think the safest option is jump back.
Okay. Two things. So I hope you have your notebook ready. I'm just going to tell you the cheat sheet answer right now. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
2P will stuff every single one of Soul Bad Guy's options at round start.
Okay.
If he does a higher startup option, like say Fafnir, you have time to block it, or Bandit Bringer, you have time to block it. But the key factor is that all of his normals will lose to 2P. But again, this is 2P we're talking about, and you're not getting anything at round start with 2P. But it's important to know that it stops
It's
his
important, yeah. It's
momentum,
definitely
right?
nice because I feel like when round start initiates, I feel like I'm already at disadvantage. It's nice that that's not the case then.
Secondly, when you mention jump up back, in my opinion, now keep this in mind. This is also a part of the reason why some players do some things. It's the first round of, I'm assuming, the first game that you're playing against Stale Devil, right?
Yeah, I mean, I put them in chronological order. Yes.
So, you should keep in mind that you have no information on the way that Steel Devil plays. Okay, so
Yeah, I've played him before, but yeah, in this bracket, yes. Sorry, I will stop
so
interrupting.
so inherently, up back is you committing to an option. So, what do you think is the best way for you to get information out of Stale Devil by not committing to something?
Either hold back or hold down back.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So that's a big thing with Bedman is that sometimes you have to pick the least risky option, which in this situation is 2P, as you know now, or to sit down back. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's see what you pick.
Are you going to stream it so I can see?
Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, so let's see what you pick at round start. Okay. And you pick, I think this input was before the round start, but you tried
I
to
think this
up
was
back.
super jump back. This was late
Yeah,
super
yeah,
jump.
super jump back. So he does round start, far slash, and then you jump. A little bit of a sloppy round start, but that's okay. From now on, now you know that 2P is a powerful, consistent option. Like it would either trade or you would just stuff what you just did. And
Yeah.
then you're in this situation. And then you jump again because I'm sure that was just your plan. So you're just locked in. I am doing jump. So that's fine. Everything's fine so far. And then you punish the Bandit Bringer. Good job. We're not going to worry about bursts at all. Okay. My philosophy on bursts as Bedman is that you just don't bait them. You just are okay with resetting to neutral.
You just force people to hold 5H1 and then like getting bursted.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Because the thing is that there are only like very situations that you should burst, and if you have questions about that at the end, you can bring that up, and we'll talk about that.
All right, I'll write that down.
Okay, so right here, right here, out of text situation. So this is fine to go into command movement after tech in this situation, but is that you immediately commit to an up forward, which this might be an input error or something like that. But the main
No,
point,
I didn't get that many input errors in this set. I think this was very deliberate because it goes over Gunflame. I think that was my plan.
yeah, it goes over Gunflame, but the issue is that Bedman is slow as molasses, and it will take him 10,000 years to get over Gunflame, right? And the worst part about this is that now that you've locked in this JP and you've committed for command movement, what does that make you?
Vulnerable to DP, but if he doesn't DP, he can just enter
Uh,
air to air me or
I
maybe block
mean,
something.
you're not necessarily vulnerable to DP because you can easily FD block it, but the main point here is that it makes you predictable here because uh, one of the core concepts of Bedman, as you know, is that he has tricky movement. So
Yeah, and doing it up forwards like that is like, okay, I'm locking myself into one big arc. Yeah.
yes, you have already committed your arc. He already knows where you're going, and he's going to just completely know where you're going. And if he's smart, he's going to punch you, as he does.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to force you to block something, right? Okay. If you watch Japanese players play, uh, they'll sit there in their command movement for as long as they need to. And why do you think that is?
Because command movement is like it's tricky. It's fast. You can immediately do it, and you can immediately do a command movement and a normal. It's good reactionary, but it's also good for like just seeing what the opponent does.
Okay, you're clearly right. It's all reactionary, but let's focus in on the reactionary part, right? Is that like what are the core pillars of? And I brought this up in my last coaching session that to play neutral, you have to be looking at the screen, as Kizzy K says. And do you understand what that means by like I am looking at the screen?
Probably not. Could you?
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a jokey way to phrase this, but it's basically summing up the concept of that I am looking at my opponent, I am cognizant of his tools, and I am cognizant of my own tools. Now, when my opponent does something, I am reacting to what he does, right? It's basically wrapping all of those concepts into just one funny line of are you looking at the screen, right?
Okay.
So when you use your command movement, and like you said, it is a reactionary tool, and trust me, it is the best at this idea. Watch your opponent, and the moment that they commit to something, you have a counter strategy right away, right?
Okay.
Okay, so why are we mashing?
This was preset knowledge. He really likes doing fake gunflame into command grab. He hit me with that, I think, on the last game of the set before we played this. So I was still stuck with that. I think that's what I did.
Okay, that's a fine assessment, but this is a new set, right? Like this is a couple days
Yeah,
into
this is
that
a
set.
completely new set.
Okay, what I'd recommend is that are you familiar with the concept of
Yeah, yeah.
okay, so by you committing to mashing on Wake Up, you have now committed to layer 2 or 3 of the Yomi mix up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to know what the secret is to really good competitive play?
They start at 1.
Start at 1 always until your opponent shows a reason for you to move on to 2 or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard something like that in competitive Pokemon. Don't start like it's something along the lines of don't be smart unless your opponent shows that they can also be smart.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like as a high tier player myself, like literally the first match of a game, I'm going to hit you with every frame trap that I know because I'm going to be checking for multiple things when I do these frame traps, right? Checking for jumps. I'm going to be checking for mashes. I'm going to be checking for your meter usage. I'm going to be checking for your defensive options, and then I'm going to be checking for I don't know, maybe your mashing throw, right? So it's like for me, if my opponent just is right away just mashing, that's like the Price is Right theme song is playing, and I'm like, I don't even have to work.
Yeah.
Second, if you force your opponent to throw you, it's actually really, really good. Do you understand why that's really, really good?
Because it means that you are forcing them to leave gaps in their pressure.
Yes, exactly. Right? And then now, the next time you mash, you can be way more confident about it. It's not like a vague read off of the last set. It's a guarantee. It's like think of it like as like a probability test where
Yeah,
like
it's like one is a risk and the other one is a calculated guess. Yeah.
yes, exactly. So stay at layer 1. Very good. Okay, so stray hits. Not gonna
I
worry
didn't
about
want
it.
to convert it into task be there because I am not confident in beating out people's tech options. That is just a skill issue. I always feel like whenever I pressure people into like tech in the corner, they always grab me or they always do like whatever, like an air normal. I'm just
Okay.
not good at beating those yet. So at that point, at that high up, like lower to the ground, like I can six beat them and it will beat all their options. But that high up, when I get the air tech out and I need to like contest with air throw or like another normal, it's scary. So I didn't cancel.
If that's the situation, I was just about to say like we're not gonna worry about our straight hits right now because those will just get better in time. But since you're saying that you had a mentality going into that confirm, I'm just gonna tell you right now that like you just tell your gut to shut up and you're just gonna do the confirm anyway.
Okay.
The reason being is that like if you just never do it, you're just never going to get better at dealing with that situation, right? And you're losing out on about like 70 damage, right? Where
Yeah.
that could be game winning, you know? So it's like what I would do, and you can write this down too, if you
Hmm.
want to get better at that situation, just set the bot to jump and then do like a basic task B ender, and then make sure that the bot is set to tech, and it doesn't matter what direction they tech, and just air throw the tech.
I mean, that's what I did before, but it's like I know it's a 4 frame window. That's I can throw them, they can throw me, and instead I some like at this point in the match, I was like, it's even. I have them in the corner. I can take what I get and like pull out. Because if I tech out right now, I might be able to throw task A
Mm-hmm.
instead of like risking it on like something that I don't know yet fully. I mean, honestly, there's only one way to train, and that's doing it. But at that moment, I didn't feel confident.
Yeah. So the next time, just do it, and then like do the training mode drills. So then the next time you can be like, oh, I've done the training mode drills for this amount of time. Therefore, you will be more confident in the thing that you.
Yeah.
Okay. So setting up task A, really important. Good stuff. Little risky JS here, but luckily he was doing Riot Stomp. Confirm, and then oh, you did the confirm this time, so or you backdash. Optimal, optimal.
This is, I think, I thought. Oh no! Oh
It
no! This already looks ugly.
already dropped. Going for
I
the
knew,
Kai
I knew there
version.
was one JS in there somewhere. It's at the beginning.
That combo
I know what the
works.
punish is. I can do it in my sleep. It's JK, the rising JK, falling JS, task B, task SC.
Well, that
But
that that
I
that
flipped
combo
it.
works on Soul Bad Guy. It's just a tighter window.
No, does it? I thought it didn't.
It,
Okay.
it's very hard because you have to get like the second JS as low to the ground as possible.
Oh, it's a delay thing. That's probably why I
Yeah,
never figured
yeah.
it out.
It's very hard. That's why. Okay, so like you said, he does Dragon Install.
I just try to
Oh,
stall as long in the
okay.
air as I
Here,
can.
here you almost did like a very smart decision. This is like you know how in chess they rate moves. Like
Stupid. Yeah.
in chess they like rate.
I think you're cutting out a little bit. Hello?
Sorry, my mic is just being a bit buggy, but
Oh, okay. Like, you were at the part where you
but
rate things from good.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, good to brilliant. So like here you did a good move, right? Like let's slow it down. Here you do task A command move. Like it took me quite a while when I was learning bedband to realize like, hey, this is a smart neutral technique. I was a very very slow learner on this stuff, but really good to just throw out task A and then wait in the air. Okay, but you commit to this back even though he has not touched you whatsoever. Like the best brilliant move here in the moment immediately attack him again. The big reason why that's a really good move is because like again he whiffed the Bandit Bringer, and just because he's in Dragon Stall doesn't mean that he's unpunishable. Like this is,
Yeah.
but the big thing is that while you're doing your combo, or even if you miss the clock string, timer until you get a free combo is happening.
Yeah. I think what I was thinking was as long as I don't get hit, I get that combo, and that's the combo that will decide the round. So I just need to not get hit.
Which is definitely a smart decision. But like again, this is just like a moment where like you still made a good decision. It's just that there are better decisions that you could have made, right?
Yeah, and even without prior data, it could have been like, okay, he doesn't Bandit Bringer. Even if he DPs me, there's not much bad that could happen. So it's a good idea to JS here. Yeah.
Right, right. Gunflame, and then you do punish the Gunflame. Good job. And block in time. Okay, round two. Now this is where round starts to become important. Okay, what did he do last round?
FS. That's what he did. Far
Yes, and
slash. Yeah.
what did he do after the far slash?
Far slash cancel to BB.
Yes. Okay, good job. So you remember. So what do you think you should do? Data
Uh, I think I think my solution to it was jump in time
was
because I did
jump
delay jump
in.
last time.
Let's see what you pick this time. Jump. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is just a little bit of a sign of autopiloting because you also pick. But now that you have more confidence in your round starts against Soul Bad Guy, because I told you. Okay, so you jump again and then you come down. Luckily, he's up. Set up. Low. Seems like a great tool, but the better you are at the game, the YRC becomes. So
Okay. Could you explain why?
the reason why is because for 6 seconds your tension gain is reduced by 60%.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for 6 seconds, that's time in Guilty Gear. Second, uh, 5 of your meter at the start of the round. Like, okay. Um, third, he's not presently doing anything dangerous to you. Like this gunflame is going to end right here, right next to the
Yeah. I mean, I
that,
didn't do it at that moment. What I did was I tech out from burst, and then I immediately think, okay, well, before he gets to me, I want to task B YRC.
I definitely
I mean,
think
the
like
DVP. Yeah.
I definitely think like wire seeing here is like a smart decision because it's like it's off the screen and a Bedman player is going to remember that their seal is off the screen, right? So the task B here is smart, but I don't think the wire C instead of gun flaming at you, IED'd at you instead. If he IED'd at you, you could have reacted to the gun flame because like this wire C is not a reactive wire C. This is my game plan wire C, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like again, not super bad decision. It's just it's a minor optimization where like now for the next 6 seconds, if he doesn't get hit by this task B, now stuck in the corner,
Yeah.
he does get stuck. Okay, baiting. No anti-air. Okay, this is like peak anti-air. I would have been like, done. You're done. This is a task C combo.
What would you have done to anti-air with 6P?
Yeah, just 6B. Get a combo. The longer version. No.
Safe jump version, I get quarter circle backwards, so having
Safe
this
jump
as a
version is
replacement.
hard. Yeah. Okay, so right here, this right here is a bad jump. Now the reason why is because say he did an IAD at you, right? And he's all the way
Mm-hmm.
over here. If you jump right here and you go into command move all the way across over here, what are you going to do?
I can do nothing but just land as soon as possible again.
Yeah, land as soon as possible again. Because like IEDing at him, as you know, you're just gonna get anti-air. If you throw task A, he can like react to it. And then third, you actually have a huge life lead here, right? So it's like
I can afford to
Bedman.
just sit still and see what happens at this point.
Yes, exactly. And like there's like a slight misconception about Bedman because like some people think that Bedman is as powerful as he can be if he jumps, which isn't true. He's actually way more powerful when he's on the ground, right? So like look at all this space that's being generated from this block string right here. What
Mm-hmm.
prime time range is he in?
He can be 2 seed. He can be 2 seed.
Yeah, 2HS, or as we see, he gets
HS.
you get a little bit further with your backdash, and you could have been 3HS, right? And although those options are like slightly risky, you have so much health, and like Soul Bad Guy has to come to you. Like you could have done a 2HS, you could have done a 3HS, you could have waited 6P'd, you could have done a grounded task A. You had so many options here because you wanted to jump.
Yeah, I had life lead plus. It's worth noting that I had 25 meters, so even if it was unsafe, I could cancel it.
And in this situation, like it would have been a good, it would have been fine. It would have been a. Now we're in the corner, crafting. Against Soul Bad Guy, 6-6 is good, but the reason why 6-6 is good is because Gunflame is core to the Soul Bad Guy pressure, right?
Okay.
So like right here, you FD him out, which again good because he wants to command grab you eventually, right? And FD is going to make it harder. But the key thing is that with Soul Bad Guy, if you just sit here and block, eventually he's going to throw out a gun flame to cover his run up, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's 6-6 time because that's a guaranteed parry every time. The only way that he can deal with that parry is if he commits 25-meter and like tries to punish you. And as we've discussed, it prorates your combo and it makes your tension like bad for 6 seconds. Like even if he punished you in this situation, I'd be like, that's a win. But
Hmm.
yeah, so next time on a block string against Soul Bad Guy, just be
Okay.
at least we're not mashing. Up to HS. I'm guessing that was an input error, right?
What did
And then
I?
you did.
What was my input history?
Yeah, you did
I think it was
here.
airthrow. Yeah, that was definitely an airthrow.
So another reason to go back in the lab and just grind out air throws. But you have to talk about this situation. I would not attempt an air throw. In this situation, the moment his toes leave the ground, he whiffed that JP, it would have been 6P time.
Okay.
Good bait. Okay, now I'm gonna like really congratulate you here, okay? This is a really great movement pattern against every DP character in the game. Okay, the reason why is because anytime that you're up and at this location next to Pass B seal, that it players literally of all skill level gets They get scared that you're going to attack them. They always rip a DP. So a great job of doing the pattern, and then you're going to get punished here. Now here
Here it would have been, yeah. There's definitely stuff I could have done.
here is a great time to bait burst. The reason why, up around, okay, you have life lead, and you have a good chunk of meter, like
yeah.
with like 3 safety nets in case something goes wrong in this situation where you're baiting a burst. So
I could have done like here far S or something like that. Just anything cancelable into jump, and it would have been fine. Even would have killed too, but that's just awareness that I need to get.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
every single time you IB riot stamp like this, good job IBing it, by the way, because that's what you're supposed to. Just hit 6p every single time.
No, JD beats it. I think falling JD beats it.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
A sole bad guy player is not pressing JD. I have played literally every single best JD bad guy player in America, and they all have never done that to me.
All right.
Like, he would have to be hyper specific, and plus falling JD, he would have to literally fall for a couple of, and he is a 9-frame startup normal.
Okay.
And then right there, I believe you tried to. Dragon install. And very funny. I would have probably done the same thing. Or I would have done Clock Super.
Yeah, that's a decent option there.
No, it's not.
I mean,
bad option.
Yeah, it is a bad option, but in a vacuum compared to other options for Helios, it might not be. It's a bad option. It's a bad option.
I mean, I'm just saying because it's casuals. Like, I would hella do that in casuals.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're on round 3.
So at this point, he has done Far S multiple times. I know he has done Far S and he has done Fafnir. What I would expect him to do is either Far S again or mix it up with like a jump option of some sort. That's what I would guess that he'd do.
Let's see what you pick, and then we'll talk about what I think. Oh.
Yeah, that's one of my sins. I'm sorry.
No. I'm okay with this. You want to know why? Because for the first 2 rounds, you scouted information. Then on the 3rd round, you applied information. Okay? Because if he did far slash, and you just told me that you think he's going to far slash, right?
Yeah.
Just teleported behind him and like messed with his head in some way. Okay? You wouldn't have gained anything really, but you would have definitely messed with his head, right? But he decided to IAD. He picked your second option. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is whenever you're thinking about like what you think your opponent's going to do, there's a key factor of, I think, wording exactly was, I think my opponent's going to mix it up and do this thing, right?
Yeah.
I want to teach you a rule about this kind of thing because you're inherently creating a read situation that hasn't come up yet. As we discussed earlier, because you don't have information on it, makes it so that the odds of that happening way lower. Right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, in order to prevent that from happening, I want you to just not think about those kinds of things unless they are represented in the games that happen.
Okay.
until like the only time that those rules get broken is when you start getting good enough where you can start breaking those rules, right?
Yeah, or when you play someone so much that like it speaks for
Yes,
itself. Yeah.
exactly. Okay, the ID's over. Let's see your punish, and you win for air throw.
Yeah, that's the fastest option, so I think I went for that there.
Right here, I think are you scared to use your 6P?
Yes, very.
Okay. First rule of Bedman: trust your 6P at all times. Always trust your 6P. You will live by your 6P and you will die by your 6P. Okay? See how many
Okay.
situations that like you're missing opportunities to create either A, a block string, or B, a punishable opportunity because you are refusing to, like right here, you are walking underneath him, right? And
Yeah,
this position,
and he
like
doesn't have
over
any air options left. I should just 6P that. Yeah.
doesn't have any air options left. Technically, he has one air option because he has a dive kick. But the key thing is that like you are so close to him. Like, look at how close you are. I'm going to follow him, right? But followed him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes you even closer, which makes the startup frames of your 6P even better. And now you're just going to absolutely annihilate him with the 6P, but that didn't just didn't trust your 6P.
Yeah.
But now you're in a block string because we messed up an air throw. Finally, first wild throw of the game, and he goes for the wrong combo. Unfortunate. Yes, gunflame. Okay, in this situation, block another gunflame against 6HS. I want you. I have labbed out this situation before against 2S. I don't think you can do it against 6HS, but it might be you might want to lab out for yourself later. I believe for jump forward JP stuff. But if that doesn't work, I highly recommend just doing a neutral jump.
Okay.
Because this, yes, the distance that it creates, like see how far you are?
Mm-hmm.
You are free to jump at any time during this animation. Unless he commits a YRC. And we've already gone over how bad YRC is, so whenever he commits meter, hey man, whatever, I don't care. Uh, I'm seeing a lot of reliance on like I am scared to be on the ground. Like we've watched 3 rounds now, and I haven't seen you use 1, 2HS, or 3HS at all. So that
Yeah.
kind of worries me. Um, you know the frame data of Bandit Bringer on block?
-1 on instant block. Throw it whenever you can and instant block it.
Why did we mash here?
I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
the logic behind me
okay.
mashing there.
Okay, well, don't mash there. Okay, I this scares me. This is like Heartbreak City right here. Like I am mashing after Bandit Bringer that I didn't IB. Like you IB the 2S here. Super important. Well, no, the 2D, and then you didn't IB the Bandit Bringer, and then you were like, I am mashing.
Yeah,
Scares
that's
me.
bad.
If Stale Devil was a better player, this would have been easily 240 damage guaranteed for Soul. Okay, so this bed slam, I respect it, but don't do it.
Okay.
Again, against Soul Bad Guy, it's very dangerous because he has like 6 options that can easily beat it. He has a well-timed 6P. He has a well-timed 5K. He has a DP. He has Blitz. as a great air throw, as JH, um, especially after like did command move did command move up, right?
Yeah, to
Remember,
get the my logic is there. Okay, if I get the powered up version, if he blocks it, I'm plus. But
yeah, you're plus
that
two.
doesn't happen.
Yeah, I
It will either
totally
hit people out of whatever they're trying to do, or you will be hit by what
yeah
they're doing.
yeah I totally understand the thought process of getting higher, but the thing is that the command move is like 30 frames of recovery until you can do something. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not 30 frames of recovery. Like you're doing something
Starting
for
up, yeah.
you're doing something for 30 frames, and then you're starting up your task C, right? So it's
Hmm.
like we're committing to doing something for 45 frames. Okay. Remember, the human edge, the cutting edge of reaction time in fighting games is about 20 frames.
Yeah,
Literally has double the amount of time to react to what you're doing. And a
yeah.
more
It's a
trained,
bad option. I just do air task C too much when it comes to like out of disadvantage.
I'm going to teach you task C. But don't do it in this type of situation where like up less risky. How you start up in the task C animation.
Hmm.
Fire C just before you start dropping, it'll create a seal, and then you can replay it.
Yeah, and then you can replay that. Yeah, I know about that, and I use it sometimes. It's just about as he starts like fast falling.
Tech, a little bit of a late tech right there. Like
Yeah, the tech is late when I wanted more distance, I think.
well, the thing is that about this situation is that if you had teched earlier, because button here, if you had teched, you could have instantly replayed task C, and you would have gotten hit or
Yeah.
block. Like either one, you're. And then this time he reacts to your option. Doesn't punish you properly, unfortunately. I wish Stale would punish you more. I'm very disappointed. Maybe all the hits. Wild as hell. Okay, and then did you try to close slash anti-air this guy?
Yeah, I did.
Is this how traumatized you are? Like, I am not pressing 6B ever. I am pressing my close slash.
I have looked into every other option. Uh, I have like a fucking what's it called, a riot stomp thing like labbed out for anti-iron with far slash instead because you have a very wide window to hit him with that. I uh I don't want to talk about my past experiences with 6P. It's not been nice.
You need to get over that because you are. Okay, something to note here. What's
Hmm.
important about this interaction?
What's
This
important
is this
about
is
this
a really good
interaction?
test. This is a good test because it shows how much you're paying attention to the.
I think this is the is this the second time he's done jab Watra? I don't know. I don't know what the I don't know. No.
Okay, so it is the second time he's done jab wild throw, but is that he's done 5P wild, right?
Yeah.
So the important thing about that is that now see jab block string. What do you think you should be doing?
Uh Probably either fuzzy jump, fuzzy mash.
You're going to be fuzzy jumping, okay? Because 5P is 2 plus on block for you to attempt.
Okay.
But the point is that now that this is the second time, you can now put in your head like maybe I should fuzzy jump here. Not cool. Only H is lame.
I've seen a guy like jump straight into Batman and hit the reverse hit of JD, and
Yeah,
then he gets
one of my
yeah.
one that I play with consistently. Um, now it's the fourth round. You did your wild option last round. What do you think?
I really don't know. Lost. So in total, he's done Far Slash. He's done Bandit Bringer. He's done Air Dash. So between those options, I think I was probably stupid enough to think maybe if I delay forward dash a little bit, I can catch both Bandit Bringer and Fafnir. I mean Far Slash and Fafnir, and I just dash under Bandit Bringer. I think that's what I thought. I don't know. I mean, that's what I would do based on what I like think about right now.
Okay, so you jump. Okay.
Okay.
I want to tell you right now that typically I only do up back jump if I have a specific game. But in this matchup, jumping is awful. A good soul bad guy player will punish you. He just lets you get in. I'm surprised. Fine. So, right here, this isn't a bad thing at all, or like done better, or anything. Like, this run forward marker of somebody wants to do. So, what I was looking for there is a fuzzy jump, flashed FD, right?
Yeah.
And if I was a good soul bad guy player and I saw you flash FD like that, I'd be like, oh, he's going. But he doesn't do that, and you just did down back FD. Okay, that's fine. You just made a decision on a 50-50. Mind that like sometimes on these run forward situations, yes, on these wild throw situations, fuzzy jumping there might be an option. YRCs, and we've already gone over. That was like this is an awful YRC actually. Right here, he does.
I'm already in the process of blocking it. Yeah.
Awful YRC, right? Because like look at this. Like this gunflame doesn't even connect to you. And then other thing is that could have done a better block string here by doing Fafnir instead of Gunflame.
Okay.
But instead he commits to Gunflame. A movement.
The down back? I think so, yes.
Because like if you're committing to jump 2K, then you should just hard commit. Just be like, I am going to be as close as possible, and I'm going to hit you with this 2K, right?
All right.
Doesn't tech. And then
that was a misinput.
This is
I would
a
like to
misinput.
clarify.
I've seen this misinput all the time. Don't worry, I've seen it all the time. It happens.
Your Honor,
like
I swear on everything that I hold holy, that was a 3C.
it happens to me once every like I want to say 200 games. So okay, finally, the first 3 HS of the game. Finally,
I'm so proud of me.
Okay, I'm going to let's have a little clinic and talk about why 3HS and 2HS are God's gift to Ben. Okay, do you know what attack level 3HS and 2HS are?
4.
They're attack level 4, that's right, okay? Now, do you know how much block stun that is?
I didn't come prepared that to the quiz. I know it's the most.
Okay, if you're actually really committed on getting better at
I have the page open. I can look at it right now, but
yeah, I
don't
highly
know it from the
recommend
top of my head.
I highly recommend on memorizing how much block stun attack level is. I believe, if I am correct by memory, attack level 4 is 18.
That sounds about
Now,
right.
the reason why that's important is that 3HS and 2HS are both jump cancelable. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you have 3 frames of jump startup on your jump. So how plus does that make you if you jump cancel 3HS or 2HS?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that one more time?
So how plus does that make you if you jump cancel your 3HS or 2HS?
If it has like 20 something frames of blockstone, it gives you that many frames. How many blockstone frames you have?
Well, the thing is, you have to remember that you have 3 frames of jump startup
Correct.
before you can do
So
anything.
yeah.
So, and since it's 18 frames, so you take away 18, you take away 3 from
So you're plus
18,
15.
you're plus 15, right? And do you know how long it takes for you to be actionable out of command movement?
No, I do not.
It takes 15 frames.
Okay, so essentially when you exit command movement, you and your opponent are neutral.
Yes, and that's why pressing these buttons are so important because they literally enable Bedman to do the job. The other thing is about 3HS and 2HS is that the 18 frame startup can count for special. I mean, the 18 frames block stun can also count for special cancels. You know
Yeah.
the startup of task A.
I'm guessing around 20 frames.
It's 18 frames. So you can have a task A out if you're grounded for free with 3HS or 2HS.
Okay.
The other thing is that you can also TK for
Yeah, you can also take that is my main way of getting ball on the screen.
a TK input.
Yeah, the like blocked 2H, 3H, the TK task guy. That's my main way of getting ball on screen.
So press these buttons more. Love of God. Uh,
All right.
and then you press 2HS and let's the optimal uh, combo conversion. I mean, this isn't the optimal one on 2HS, but just you doing the FD cancel, you know how to do the better combos on 3HS. That's really important. So right here, I want to talk about this decision because I think I decided to do meaty task A. What do you think
Yeah.
is the issue with your meaty task A?
Well, the issue is that I didn't have the meter for wire seeing it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought the setup that you were going for, but there's another issue that I have with this setup. You have a task C seal here,
Mm-hmm.
and even though I know that the first hit of task C won't hit him and he won't be meaty, right?
Yeah.
You could replay task C anyway. Okay. Okay, if you go for this non-metered, if you did the wire C setup properly, sure, you bait the DP. Thing is that bending a wire C, and we've already explained why that's sort of bad setup. Okay, and if he does DP, you'll only end up, and it does come out, you'll only end up blocking the DP, and then you'll win the round, of course, because it's. But the big thing here is that I haven't even checked anything about his offense currently, right? Because you have this task C seal, you could easily replay this task C seal, and the beauty of Bedman there and do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, if he does DP, he gets hit by task C. If he decides to try to get out of the corner, you can react and hit him. Tries to do anything after this task C, you are guaranteed to try to kill him. The only way things don't work out for you is if he decides to block. Okay? So if he decides to block, that's still good for you because now you have, again, task C is your active as hell. It's not as plus as task B, but it's super active and you're still plus. So you create more pressure out of this situation. Like,
Okay.
see how like by replaying task C in this situation creates a lot more opportunity for you.
Yeah, it's not even that it hits. It's just free download to see what the opponent does with no risk. So why wouldn't you do this? Yeah, especially this early on in the set. I think the reason why I went for the setup I did, not to excuse it, but to explain it, I think it's the safest way that Batman can do Oki on Soul and actually get reward out of it if Soul blocks it. Because I know the combo conversion off of this into like task
Yeah.
C ball, another task C, TK task apostrophe into like it won't kill, but it will like it's a good combo and I know it well. So I thought, okay, at 25 meter, this beats DP. I'm gonna go for this. But you're right. I should have just task C just to see what he would do in the corner because I haven't really gotten him much in the corner at this stage. So I don't know what he does in this type of situation yet.
I was about to criticize you for blocking, but then he DP'd like a man. Okay, so I want to. You're blocking. DP happens. You backdash. Then you press 2S and then you do 2. Now you're out of the block string and then you walk backwards more. And then so I want to teach you like one of the greatest concepts in Guilty.
I'm ready.
Good Guilty Gear play is always in two states: moving forward or standing still. Reason being why is because if you are moving backwards, right? Like you decided to move backwards 3 times in this situation,
Yeah.
literally are not getting any meter. You're getting, and in Guilty Gear, every time you move forward, you gain meter, which is
Mm-hmm.
lifeblood of the game, right?
Yeah.
So, uh, from now on, whenever you're like in a situation, I want you to be thinking about that concept of I either need to stand my ground or moving forward, right? So like right
Yeah,
here,
because at that point it's like even if 6/8 hits, it doesn't matter. Like the worst thing he can do is like go for like gunflame, but even then you could like space yourself to not be hit, or you could just neutral jump over it. It's like there's many options that don't involve moving backwards at that point. Yeah.
well, not to mention this also sort of loops back around to what I was talking about earlier about how like, hey, I think you need to be playing more on the ground because you're missing lots of opportunities.
Yeah. I'm very uncomfortable with Batman on the ground. That's why I use his air stuff as a crutch. Yeah. Yeah. All right, quiz time. Um Well, given the fact that I've not really cycled like his options into like what I think he's going to do, it like comes down to what I think I'm going to do at this point. Um, I don't know. It could be just holding down back. It could be
Huh?
I could tell you what it's not gonna be. It won't be far slash. It will not be yeah, that's that that's kind of bad if that's the only thing I can say about it. Um, like with
What
hindsight being 2020, what I should do, like ignoring the fact I have 2P, is probably just hold down back because if he runs up towards me for like wild throw, round start, even like in the world that he does do it, I can't react to it.
I
And if he far slashes, then I don't lose anything immediately.
I was literally about to suggest that exact thing because I feel like it has now been what 6 rounds, like this, is, right?
Yeah.
Uh, like this is a good time to just reset the Yomi layers as we discussed before, and just go back to let's just down back, like what happens. Far slash.
The only it's cool.
So remember earlier when I was saying that like this JS situation could always eventually turn into wild throw?
Yeah.
Here he did it. So
Yeah.
then he does the bad combo. Come on, Stale. You're better than this. Doesn't meet you, but so like we discussed earlier, just a little bit more patience on defense. Force him to do something. That's what you. Biggest thing about playing Bedman is that you can create yourself opportunities by just being more patient.
All right.
Oh, good. Finally, he does the better combo, and then he dropped it. Punish.
So I can mash there, right?
Yeah, that you're 0.
0 on just block. All right.
Yeah, it's 0 on just block. Definitely, I'd recommend mashing. The only time that he'll beat you if he stands up, presses 5p, right? So if you press 2p, or it'll clash, or if you press 2k, he'll just beat you outright. But again, he's pressing 5p, so it's like a prorated combo if he gets that.
All
The
right.
other thing is that the only way for outright that situation is if he's really crazy and decides to DP you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, right here, I think you made a bad decision here. So let's look at meter deficits right now. He's at 75 meter.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's look at life leads. He has a gigantic life lead. Get hit by like 3 combos and still live. You can only get hit by 1 combo right now, and you're just dead.
Yeah.
So here, I would highly recommend, because this is again a risk reward assessment, right? You
Mm-hmm.
either a safe jump, or you backdash on their wake up to bait a DP.
Okay.
But since you said that you don't have your safe jumps down yet, I highly recommend just grinding out safe jumps. Like
I
in
mean, there's an
these.
automatic safe jump, but it's very easy to like see. So once people start playing me more, they would just know, oh, this is the safe jump.
Oh, do you not
Uh,
do the time safe jump with JK?
with JK, no, I don't believe I do. What I do on Soul, I just do jump back hover, not super jump, just normal jump back into forwards JS. Hits him on the first, hits you on the last frame you're airborne. But
Yeah, you can do
yeah,
that, but I highly recommend learning the timed safe jumps with JK, because when you start learning all the timings, they become pretty. So
what is the
uh,
JK one?
the JK one, it's literally like you just fan move, and then you time your JK to meet them as a safe jump.
Okay.
It's a little tricky, but the thing is that like once you get used to it, you can on every matchup, and it becomes insane.
Wouldn't you rather use jump up JS because
The issue with JS is that one, if time it, they can throw you out of it. Two, if they IB it, they can throw you out of it. Uh, um, the timing is just harder on JS because there's a lot more startup on it.
Okay. I
But
mean, it's only one more frame, so okay, it's
but
cool.
like, don't disregard like JS. Like, it's good that you have that in your repertoire, but like, just understand that like literally all of your buttons can be safe jumps. You know,
all right.
and that's why like learning the timing on all your buttons is good.
Yeah. It's in this situation, if I would have to sum it up to like see if I got it correctly. Try to deny him his like high reward like stuff on this, which is in this case making me block reversal and then RCing or something, or just like me doing the risky thing of getting like DP to begin with, and just see what he does with the meter and like do a good but low risk option.
That's a great way to think about it. As trying to get the highest reward option. Um, but I would just take a step back before you start stuff like that and start just getting your sure
All
that you
right.
have the muscle memory.
Is it necessary that I also know how to safe jump backwards? Backdash. Is that like a necessity to eventually learn, or is that like so hard
There
I can
there
ignore it for now?
there isn't really as safe jump backdash because I had to learn this the hard way because I started backdashing one of my core training partners when I lived in Texas, and his he Leo. What he did in response whenever I would do that is that he would do 2 3 6 8 on wake up, and it would hit me because I would be in recovery.
I see.
So just understand that like when you are backdashing someone, you are literally trying to bait their DP, and you're taking the risk of getting hit by something else.
I mean, yes, of course, but like the thing is, if you hide it behind a safe jump, like your backdash will only come out if you don't block something. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but like the
Yeah.
thing is that like for Soul Bad Guy, he'd probably if he wanted to catch her backdash, he'd probably hit Fafnir on wake like 20 up. I want to say. And since you're not blocking anything on wake up technically because it takes up, right?
Hmm.
You're just backdash came out.
Yeah. Okay.
But he doesn't commit to anything, and he lets you get away with it. So I'm surprised. RC, this YRC setup. I'm totally fine with this YRC setup. You need it, right? Because we're gonna move on from Stale Devil because I feel like
All right.
not to put Stale Devil down, but I think like uh play players that are better than him in this squad.
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Because that's
I
what I
played Jason
want.
Riot at the end of it. This is like 90% still Devil because this was like a first to seven like streamed event. So I thought, okay, I'll just get everything like this. It's let's see when the new stage happens. That's yeah
Yeah,
there.
that's right here. So before we move on, do you have any questions about your approach?
Um. Oh, it was Gideon, not okay. Um. The the risk reward of like meter and how much health they have and not like doing like a high risk option in that moment. It makes sense like when you say it, but it's not integrated in how I play yet.
Um,
Um,
when
when it
you're
comes,
going for Oki, you like think I'm assuming that you're like this is my,
yeah, Like
So
he has shown X amount of options. Out of that, I'm going to do this option when that's what I do when I commit to
so
Oki.
when do and I'm assuming that you start thinking about this.
Yeah, when I confirm into it.
So you're thinking about this in the middle of the combo.
Most of the time, yes.
Okay, so what I want you to do is that this might be a little bit hard for you. I want you to start thinking more about stuff in the middle. I want you to like look at their meter while you're doing your combo. I want you to like look at their health bar while you're doing the combo. And then by the time that the combo ends, have all the information you need to assess your plan, have a new plan ready to go.
All right, I'll
It's
get better
it's
at that.
it's a weird habit. Like I remember when I was like, oh man, I have to start looking at that and then eventually I started getting used to like just like a skill development thing. Develop this skill, assessing the entire page and saying this is what's going to happen.
Okay, I do that a little bit when it comes to like I just look at their tension, and if it's red, I know that I can like like DP RC. If I look at their burst real quick, but I don't really make decisions based on how much health they have. Sometimes I play like safe because I have more health, but besides that, like general idea, I don't think about that too much yet.
Okay, because I'll tell you right now, there are lots of times when I've played fighting games at locals and people have gotten angry, and then my instant response is always, "I have 3/4 health bar, buddy. Think I care?"
Yeah,
So it's
it's
like,
it's very hard to ask respect of someone who's beating your ass.
well, it's also like the fact is that like I could be playing like somebody who's like extreme game, and I'm still making those decisions because it's just a good decision. Because it for them to kill you from that point, they have to hit you like times, right? So
Yeah.
it's like if I'm mashing and I'm wrong, I'm good. Go again, you know. But here we got Kitty, new Soul Bad Guy player. Okay, what do you think?
New.
Start.
This guy won 2 tournaments. He eliminated me almost every single round.
Oh,
This
I
guy
meant
not
I
new.
no, I meant like new in terms of the VOD.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What do you
My
think he's
fault.
doing around start?
First time I'm ever playing him, so most likely I will think that he's going to do the default that most souls do on round start, which is far S. So I'm going to hold down back or
Oh,
jump.
okay. I'm glad you're already generalizing player bases. I do the same thing. It's very good for you to think that way until they show you something different, right?
Yeah.
Down back or jump up. But I'm betting you're pressing far slash. Damn, you did down back. Wow, I'm impressed. Maybe it's the respect from like he beat me in 2 tournaments. Okay, let's go back. This Gunflame,
Mm-hmm.
easy counter hit 3 HS punish. It doesn't even matter that you backdash. Easy counter hit 3 HS punish.
Okay.
We're easily committed to. Let's talk about another thing while we're here. How useful do you think this angle is?
Not very useful. It's too high up and only hits very late into its arc.
Not very useful at all, right? Like even when you're coming back down, right? Luckily, he lets you get away with it. Look at what
Yeah,
Cascade is covering
it
on the
doesn't
way
even
back.
cover me. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like definitely be thinking about those angles while you're playing the. Was that 6B that you just?
I think so. No, it's the input from 2v6H. Up to 2v6P.
Firm, cross up, mess up the input, but play, and then you have You didn't commit YRC that time. Okay. Do you know how to play Duck Duck Goose?
I don't know about that game. I think I'm European.
Well, playing Duck Duck Goose right now, okay? Because he is jumping. He has committed both of his jumps here. He is
Yeah.
he is literally going nowhere because he can't IAD. He can't do nothing. And then you're like, I am JP. Like, I could play the song Gladiators right now, and it would fit perfectly. Yeah, 6P, please, for the love of God. There are so many opportunities here for you. Good JH safe jump. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, though.
It was on purpose.
Then you went for the JS confirm, messing it up.
No, it's JK. It just didn't come out.
Okay, let's talk about this backdash here. Why did you backdash?
Brain says task A minus, make more distance, otherwise ball go away.
Why do you think task A is minus here?
I just think it's minus because I do task A. Am I pluser?
If
Am I even?
if it's minus, it's like -4. The key thing that you have to understand about dust loop frame data is that they typically do frame data based on if it's point blank.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at this block string that you did. Clearly not point blank.
No.
Right? And then you've done it, you've seen, like, look at, he's still in block stun, and you're about to recover. Right?
Yeah.
So right here,
I can just hold ground here because I have no reason not to.
Literally. Okay, all you do here is that you sit here and you do what Bedman does best: abuse the fact that he has another projectile on the screen and it's returning. Okay, literally all you have to do, right? Hang out for a bit, and he already committed to an option before task A came back, right? And since I can tell you're experienced in fighting games, what's the point of fireballs?
They're meant to control space.
They're meant to control space and
make the opponent block. I don't
there's
really
a key aspect that
know.
you're missing about fireballs. They force people to jump.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's
Yes,
like
they force people to jump.
So it's like he's literally forced him to jump because he's scared of this task A returning. Then you commit to 3HS. So this entire situation could have been like fireworks going off if you just were like, I am just going to chill here because I have a task A returning, and I'm going to anti-air you because I decided to chill. Luckily, he misses his confirm. So task A. Nothing to do about that, but I will say, actually, there is something you can do about this. Don't super jump that high and then try to attack someone.
Yeah.
Like, to look at the timing on this. Like, imagine if you command jumped right here. About as high. That's like the height limit for command jump.
Yeah, I can just be big chillin', just look at what he's doing.
Yeah, look at what he's doing, and since he already whiffed a button, you could literally hit him out of command movement. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's unfortunate. He just had. Are you a different player? This is a different player I'm talking to. All of a sudden, you went from like I am the most impatient bedman in the world to I am Buddha. I am okay with blocking. And then you did the proper thing where you saw 6HS, and then you were like, "There's Gunflame," and then you were like, you literally did the thing we talked about.
Yeah. Now the only thing to improve there is not mashing, because at that point I think you're pretty minus after Gunflame, and it's so minus that if Soul does 2k there, you can't even jump out. So it's
Yes.
just hold down back or guess and do 2k.
I typically backdash after this situation.
Yeah, that's also very possible.
Actually, I think we can slightly improve this. Okay, so I respect the Class B here because you know you have enough meter for to RSC it, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least I think that's what you were thinking, right?
No, what I was thinking was, um, he seems like the type of play. He seems good enough to try to block my sweep and then dash in at me, or like do something at the moment like blocks and ends on sweep, which is a bad thing to think, because I've not scouted that option yet. This is the first time I'm actually playing him, so it's not a good way to think about it. Far S, you have 2D, you have 2HS, I think. Yeah, 2S. Yeah, those moves.
Okay, so uh, they in this block string you decided to do 2D. Okay. Now, what's the issue with 2D?
Um, it kind of stops your pressure.
Yes, exactly. That's right. I mean, it doesn't exactly stop your pressure, but the thing is that in this situation you could have enabled yourself way further than you were capable. But
Yeah, like thinking
so
about it, I
like
could have done like 2S, 2H.
yeah, so like what's the importance of doing the 2S 2H block string?
It's making yourself plus.
Yes, as we discussed before, it does make yourself plus, especially if you want to go for a command move reset. But there's another little cheeky thing that you can do with Bedman in this situation because you did task B, right? Because you can
Okay.
do 2K, 2S, 2HS, and then you can TK your task B input. And if they block it, you can RRC at the later frames of the task B and create a task B seal for free.
Yeah, because aerial moves generate their seals way quicker. Yeah.
That's right. So, and the best thing about it is that are you familiar with the ways that opponents can get out of the corner against task B?
You mean replay B or task B?
Replay B.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
And what's the core way that they get out of the corner?
IB move that jails into task B, then super jump out. That's the main way.
Yes, that is the main way. So, you want to know what the great thing about airborne task B seals are?
They are higher, so they're harder to jump out of.
No, it's not even that they're harder. They can't jump out of it. Like it's just
Yeah.
impossible. So,
So it turns into a I need to mix up my normals, otherwise you get to jump out into I don't need to do that. I'll still do that because well, I want damage, but you just have to hold it at this point.
yes,
If you don't
yes,
have a low profile
exactly.
move.
Exactly. Like you just become a real character. Um so in this situation, you could have gone from like slightly winning to this round's over. Sorry, buddy. If you
Okay.
just decided to do 2K 2S TK task
Yeah.
B.
It's also an autopilot moment because I'm so used to when I do cross up Oki, I'm so used to doing 2K 2D task B because that's the most consistent like conversion you get off of that. Um so it's also like an autopilot thing I need to fix.
I'm guessing you miss input here, right?
Yes, I don't know what, but I did miss input there.
Okay, so again right here, backdash. And I think I can guess why you backdashed because you were.
Yeah.
The thing about this situation right here is that if he does anything out of his tech situation, though he has strike invulnerability, the thing is that your 6P is already active by the time he comes out of that strike invulnerability, and he just gets hit.
Okay.
Great blitz. Why'd you do this blitz here?
I thought he was gonna do cross up first, and I thought if he doesn't, I'll still get Yeah, I thought like this is good against cross up, and if he doesn't cross me up, he hasn't shown a low yet. So
Uh, I definitely hella respect it because like you have half your life still, have your burst available, so it's like the risk versus reward was he was still going to get rewarded if he knockdown situation. But the thing is that like you're just not in a bad spot, you know.
yeah. Plus, even if you like I mean, if you blitz anything, it doesn't affect your attention gain.
Okay, see this is the reason why you 6p, okay?
Yeah.
Because he literally just got in for free. For free. You just let him in. You know, you open the door, you say, ready for a great luncheon, or however he says it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. So he
Yeah.
adapted.
He adapted.
This is fine. Just recognize that he adapted. This is why reacting to Gunflame is important. Because it becomes guaranteed if you react. Full
Yeah.
person wake up, but it whiffs. Doesn't. Could have gotten a way better combo off that. Another blitz, but again he adapted, went low. Okay, so this is a
He can just continue the combo after this, but he chooses not to, right?
well, the thing is about this setup is that this air throw is technically fake because
Yeah.
but the thing is that most bad guy players do out of this tech situation. Right?
Okay.
Like I play third strike. Ugh.
Yeah. There I did the options that I did before, and now it should be the point where I should be like, okay, he mixed up his options. Now I can start mixing up my options.
Again, there are so many situations where like if I was playing, he would have been dead. Like this is just over. Like right here, this jump, it's like 6p city. So this jump in right here, what's wrong with this jump in?
The two things I can think of is that because I never mix up my timing, he knows exactly when I'm going to enter with the aerial, and he has shown before that he is aware that 6p exists. So that's why I
Um,
think it's wrong.
I want to say you're right, but I'd say like there's a more important concept that you're missing here. What's the core strategy of Bedman player at all times?
Get a knockdown with a seal.
Let's take that a step back a bit, okay? What do you think's more important? Getting a seal out at all times or potentially getting a knockdown with a seal?
Just getting a seal out, I guess, because that means you're able to like play the game better.
That's right. So the reason why this jump in isn't good is because you approach him with no seals. What if do you know how much easier this jump in becomes if you got a task A seal active?
Yeah, because it could cover me on the returning hits, or it could just make them scared into not pressing anything.
Exactly. A big mantra that I learned eventually when I was playing Bedman is I learned eventually that I don't have to approach if I don't have a seal up. Like I just don't have to, right? Because
Okay.
if I'm good enough in movement, I should be able to dodge whatever they do. But eventually, I'm going to have a task A seal, and eventually they're going to be in block stun. And if my opponent's in block stun, I can approach.
Okay. So it's just it's bad risk reward if I don't have my game plan set on, okay, I can chill until I get a seal, then I can try doing stuff.
Well, the big thing is that like the seal creates layers for you, right? Because you are right, having varying timing on your jump in timing is important. But the thing is, um, with a task A, like say in this situation that you're in, you had an angled task A seal, and it was behind him currently, right?
Mhm.
What do you think would be best for you in this?
To
If
be
it's
played.
no, not the seal behind him, but the it's already replayed. Made him
Oh,
block once, and now there's a task A seal behind him somewhere. What do you think is the best play for you in this situation when you have command move ready?
wait for the ball to cover me on my next jump in.
Exactly. So it kind of combines those two concepts that we're talking about, where we're talking about like you're varying your timing because right, you vary your timing, right?
Yeah.
But the task A seal just allows you to do that better.
Okay. Okay.
Combo. Great reaction. This is an insanely good reaction. Good job. Like you saw that he was like, something's up, pressing a button. Cross up setup. Good job. I believe in this.
Yeah, I block so I can 6B it.
Okay, so remember, recognize that he adapted to you forward dashing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, we're
Doing
still
it in this situation is
yeah.
stupid because it's already been shown to be disproven, so doing it again is risky.
This is why again, like I said earlier, it's better to wait for him to commit a gun flame because the gun flame just guarantees that you're
Yeah.
okay, great. Could have gotten way better combo. These little bad guy players need to
Yeah,
learn
but he
better
was burst
combos,
baiting, I think.
even with burst baiting.
Yeah, it's beyond
A
over at this
Tyrant
point.
Rave didn't do it.
No, no, it's
He's just
2K
gonna
OP.
OTG. He's just gonna. Could have made that so much easier on himself if he just Tyrant Rave.
It's like a trend where I don't know why. Like I've 4 souls that I fought, like in recent memory that could have just easily killed me, but they don't time drive there.
It's my bias because I play against one of the best souls in North America pretty actively. So if I don't see an optimal combo happen, I'm like, huh, what?
Yeah. I mean, this is not that level of play. This is just Discord of people trying to get better at the game. And some people have been doing that for a very long time, but I wouldn't say there's national like people. The closest thing that we have to like a national player, I think, is PETA, the Raven player.
I know the guy, the pancake guy.
Yeah, Pancake Guy.
Okay, so remember the discussion we had earlier?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think you're doing wrong right here? Not at round start.
I'm not standing my ground because his only options that he showed so far don't threaten me holding down back.
Yeah, you're literally like I am. You literally put your back in the corner. You put yourself in the corner here.
Yeah,
How bad this is? Like
yeah.
let's
I did backdash, walk back, backdash.
look at this meter advantage. He's already had more if he just decided to run at you. It don't ever burst that.
Yeah, I think he based that later in the set, or it was another guy. It's auto burst safe. I know that now.
Well, there's also an OS that they can do, but he didn't do the OS here. Back in the game. Ooh, he did it anyway. Wow. Play meaty 2HS. Smart. Okay, I like this gameplay. I have you have your castle set up. I have my task A. Now I don't like this gameplay. What happened?
I
Happened?
thought I'm covered, so I get safe JS.
Not exactly. He can DP through. Yes. Yeah, like here, literally, I would just do nothing. I would replay these seals and do nothing.
You would just catch head and do like DVA.
Yeah, that's it. And I would just stand there because, like, look, you have the life and you have two seals up, right? By
Yeah.
you moving forward, you are giving up your seals.
And even if seals can run out like in time, like DVA returning with maybe setting up another task C.
Yep. And see how like because you commit, now he's punishing you.
Yeah. Okay. So at such moments, I don't need to commit. I can just hang back,
Yep.
react to what they're doing, and just do castle, as you say.
Yeah, I literally call it my castle. I have on my Twitter banner. I got a commission by putting a long Twitter banner at the edge of the banner. It's a bedman with a shop. Bedman sets up shop in the corner.
Oh.
Yeah, when you get your shop up, just hang out in the shop. There's no point. Okay, this doesn't matter. Who cares? He wire seed wild throw you. Look at how much damage this is about to do to you.
Yeah, it gets like the bad fucking
Bad
like
damage,
the
and look at how much meters
bad
he's gaining.
damage. He gets less damage because he initiated it with a Roman cancel. Yeah, it does no damage, so I'm not that mad that I got hit by it.
So again, like just be more patient, because
Yeah.
gunflames are reactable. So.
At this point, he's just like he just does block string into I let him do something unsafe because it's just what I will do.
Up, everybody gets hit by that.
Yeah, at that point, I can just cancel into a slash normal and do better. I could have 6P there. And then I'd go in with no brain because disadvantage into jump back into JS is a habit.
I talk about this pressure sequence. Okay, so on this knockdown, I've replayed the reason why Because you start up this block string, right? Because he guesses right. But now that he's far away from your seal, every single pressure reset that you do from risk, unless you put meter,
Yeah.
right? So this situation's right. You replay task B. You know how far task B pushes block it?
No.
It doesn't move them. It's like
Okay, so there's like no reason not to do it sometimes, unless you're going for cross-up pokey.
yeah. So and second, the big thing is that as long as you don't jump, you can do 2P 5HS, 5K. Okay,
5k 6h. Yeah, you can just
all the frame traps basically.
yeah, sprinkle in other frame traps. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, and the big thing about that is that all those frame traps give you information. But it's also the fact of the matter is that I don't think you've done a job is the throw, and the better you get at Bedman, the more important throw. Because so playing task B here.
Okay. Yeah, I tend to throw way more against non-DP characters because I'm just very, very afraid of just um of being DP'd.
So you're afraid of being DP'd.
Yeah.
So when you're making your decisions on always safe jump.
No, not every single time. I try not to do that because I know that makes it very predictable. What I try to do is like 75% of the time I try to like do something that won't blow me up if they do DP, and like 30% of the time, 25% of the time I'll do something that I could get hit by DP here, but I'll do it.
Okay, so the important thing about time is that it's not that it makes you predictable. It makes it so that you're sacrificing a setup for a weaker one, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing about DP, I mean about safe jumps, is that they're very one dimensional. Like I am literally doing a setup to just bait. If I bait it, I bait it. If I don't, pressure's over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a big thing is that I highly recommend because are going to do eventually they're going to do Yomi layers before.
Yeah.
Eventually they're going to move on to the Yomi layer of this guy thinks I just press DP all the time. This time I'm going to wake up mash because I've earned that respect with my DP. Which I know that safe jumps are supposed to cover wake up mashes, but like there's always wake up delay mash.
Yeah, and there's also like wake up like especially with Batman, you like fake out and you like drift back FD, stuff
Yes,
like that. Yeah.
exactly. So it's very important that you understand that by doing a safe jump, you are giving up more powerful setups that you could be going for.
Yeah. And I'm
But
conscious of that. So like I know that if I go in with like low 2S, which I do sometimes to like try to see if people actually like block load at that point. I'm willing to like think I'm willing to get DP'd if I go for something like that. That's what I mean. And I know the difference of like I know I'm sacrificing a better setup if I do like a safe jump or if I do a like drift back 2K.
so again, like we backdashed right into Fafnir.
Yeah. At this
I
point in
said,
the set, because this is like winning round for him in the tourney. At this point in the set, I'm like I need to play as safe as possible, and in my mind, safety is distance, and Fafnir covers a lot of distance, so he got me with that. I think I do it again right there.
let's rephrase your thinking here because I think that's a bad way to be thinking. Why is because Oh, he's up around and potentially can play risk. You're at equal footing here.
Mm,
The
yeah, if
point,
anything, I have advantage because I have better burst.
yeah, you have better burst. That's right. So it's like I don't think that you should be thinking about like tournament sets in the idea of I am losing, therefore I need to play safer. Right? That's not how that works because I've played tournament sets. Like, let me tell you a story about a tournament set that I played in Strive. I was playing against, and mind you, I don't practice Strive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like the game. I only like playing neutral in that game. But I played against a Kai player who plays the game, who actually practices the game. And we went 1-1. And at the start of round, at that point, it would have at the start of round 5, in backdashed round start.
Yeah.
And immediately that was my tell that he was intimidated by my neutral. So I took that as far as it could go in that game, right? And eventually it came to a point where the next game, like the next round, I fully ran at him at round start and threw him. And it worked. And then later in that game, I did the same thing again, except he jumped, and then I air threw him on a reaction, right? This is all because I saw my opponent was so scared of my neutral game because he backdashed, right?
Yeah.
So eventually I won that tournament set off of those reads, right? Well, they weren't reads,
Yeah.
but it's like the point is that make sure that you're playing your tournament set at the best of your ability, not in a modal sort of way where like I am playing defensively or I am playing scared. You are playing off of information and things that are given to you.
Yeah. If you lock yourself into one mentality, that can be taken advantage of, and even besides that, you will stop looking for like some stuff.
Right.
It's just not a good idea. But still, it is a mindset that I locked myself into back then, and it's kind of hard not to do it. Like it's very hard not to do it because because um, when someone is just beating you, it's especially in the middle of a match, it's hard to like reflect on what you're doing wrong. Um, maybe that's a me thing, maybe that's an everybody thing, but so I default to the mentality of maybe if I lose slower, um, I can like potentially like mash out some of his stuff. Like I won't feel as bad. It doesn't make any because so hold on. You're never gonna actually win with it. And you're not gonna reach anything with it. But um, it's like if the round like I've how do I explain this? Because it's not like, oh, I want to lose slower. I don't want to lose. Period. That's that's not a mentality. It's if I play safer, there will be more opportunities where I won't be like counter hits for like huge damage and like
Okay, I think I
stuff like
know
that.
exactly what you mean, okay? So, I want to teach you a big lesson that I had to learn kind of the hard way. But uh, eventually, as I was trying to better a bedman, I got to a brick wall where I realized that I am scared to interact with my opponent. Okay? And
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like to me, where like you were just scared to interact with your opponent, right? And take
Yeah.
advantage. So, my best tip for that, and I think like after this session, especially after like all the times I've told you, like just good, you'll be better at it. But the main that have powerful normals, you have powerful tools. Just because like the third character in the game doesn't mean they have like stupid stuff. Remember that like your tools are still effective against theirs, right? So it's like don't give up your tools.
Okay.
This is the weirdest like 5 seconds. Was this like are you going for like an interesting route or was this just
Yeah,
like
it's
a
I delay the JP here slightly so that on the close slash task C hits, I can pick him up with 2P.
um don't go for the delay combos.
It's a very tiny delay, and I'm consistent at it, but it's nerves mostly. I mean that means that it's not consistent. I know, but 8 out of the
Uh
10 times I like even in these settings I do hit it.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
At that point I'll say like it's your funeral. But for me, especially in tournament play, I like to simplify things as much as possible. So typically I just go for the
Yeah. Okay. Well, when it comes to combos, I think I know my stuff. When it comes to like not to say like, oh, I'm a big boy. I do all the good combos. No,
well
I've
yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
I have made spreadsheets about what combos work on what characters, like what throw combos work on what characters, and I've categorized them in my head. And like even if I still look at the sheet before I play every match, so I'll know what I have to do. And I don't think that is a big problem for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
saying. It's
but
like
there is a lot of value in like simplifying things so you don't drop them. If I would have simplified it there, I wouldn't have dropped it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just like the big thing that I mean is that like you can do what you want because you sound confident and you do post a lot of tech in the Bedman Discord, so I totally think that you are totally capable. But I'm just giving you like this is my advice. This is what I would do. It's, combo. But if you don't want to simplify it, that's cool too.
There's a simple like version of it where if I hit CS wrong, I'll just cancel the task C and don't try to pick up. But it doesn't happen often that CS doesn't hit at all. So I was just okay, kind of confused by why it didn't hit, but that's it.
I think it was just too high.
Oh, I mean definitely, but
Okay, talk about another concept. It just ingrained that like don't jump in these situations. But are you familiar with the idea of empty?
empty frames, as in frames your opponent is locked down and you're free to do what you wish.
No.
And then I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna do a fun little exercise. 1, 5, 6, 7, 11. Um, so what I mean by empty frames is basically like anytime you are doing something that's not productive.
Okay.
So you literally spent about 70 frames doing nothing. They're like you're up in the air. There's no seals on the screen, and you are now back on the ground. A lot
Yeah.
of high level Guilty Gear time efficiency and understanding how to use these frames, right? Are you familiar with the way high level Street Fighter works out?
I've seen Street Fighter 5 is very fun to watch. I've watched a ton of high level. Yes.
Okay, so Daigo is a very strong example of this, especially on Guile.
Hmm.
Daigo has a very strong ability, not whiff punish people, but he'll force opponents to whiff, and then he'll dash forward in, right? Essentially
Yeah.
creating opportunities for him, right? And that's what I mean by empty frames. He literally creates empty frames where his opponent is doing nothing productive because he forced a whiff, and then he dashes in so he can hit the like stand medium punch on block, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so by doing this, you are literally the guy getting baited by Daigo, but Daigo is on the other side of the screen and he is a sole bad guy player.
Okay.
So whenever you're committing to options, just make sure that there is some form of game plan behind said option, right? Like, I am jumping because I want this angle of task A, or I am jumping because I want to jump in at him. I am jumping because of this reason, that reason, right?
Yeah.
Uh, a really basic one that I think habit of is throwing out task A and then just command moving. Standing. Just stay in command move as long as possible until your
Just look
opponent.
at what they do. That's it.
Yes, that's it. Literally exactly what I want you to do. And trust me, this will get your neutral game way better.
Okay.
Start recognizing, like, oh, I'm not being productive. Oh, or this and that. Start, because remember
In
at
the
the
time
start.
that I'm doing nothing, I could be thinking this is what I could be doing, and then I can adapt that
Yes.
later.
Yes, exactly. Like, remember at the start of the session where I was talking about, like, hey, look at the screen, you know?
Yeah.
That's a part of looking at the screen is that you create opportunities for yourself.
Yeah. I think part of the reason why I hang out in the air so much as well is because I have no faith in 6P.
Yes.
Because at that point I'm like, okay, well, what are my options? Air throw, JP, uh, like more air normals. So I feel like I'll always need to be in the air to stop people approaching me, and I
No.
think that is the reason why I jump so much.
Great air throw, by the way.
It's a safe jump,
You were thinking about YRC.
another air throw
The air throw
attempt.
attempt. It was a mess up.
I raw canceled it because I thought it was minus enough. It probably is, but I didn't. I wasn't on the dot. I'd blocked raw dust, which is really minus, but
It's
not
not
my.
that minus off of 2D. You should have done close slash here. Press 2D. I think 2S's. I think close slash.
They're the same frame data. They're essentially the same move.
But like by doing 2S first.
No, 5D is minus 13, so it would have been on time. I just wasn't on the dot. Souls, I think 5D is the worst in the game on block.
Okay. But that is the last of the Soul Bad Guy VODs. So now we're.
And then there is a Slayer player.
Okay. So establish now that we have a different matchup. What do you think is the first of stopping Slayer?
First rule of stopping Slayer, I would say, is get TK Task A on the screen. Because of his slow air dash, you'll be able to force him into that plan of like transportation. And be very careful of jailing him into 2H because he can dandy step out of it. Because he can
Okay.
dandy step out of any like gap into it. Like 2S 2H is not a true block string, so he can just dandy step out. Those are the two
So
things I would probably like think are very important.
highly right that having a seal on screen is useful, but don't tunnel vision into that because Slayer players will take advantage. But the number one rule on fighting Slayer players is active lows. Want to know why?
Why?
It stuffs dandy step approaches. It stuffs BDC attempts. It stuffs them trying to forward dash at you. It's so crucial for stopping Slayer from doing shenanigans. Always be thinking about your active lows.
Okay. Like active as in active frames or active as in actively doing them?
Active frames.
Okay.
For Bedman, his best one is 2D.
2D,
Active
2K,
for
yeah.
like 6 frames, I think.
2K is 6 frames. 2D is also 6 frames, yeah.
Yeah. K and 2D, your best one's 2D. Uh, like active lows are so good against Slayer players that even though that option, I actually press 2D around.
Oh, wow.
Well, let's see what you pick. Right, like hitbox.
No, I don't.
So you see how he puts out this leg and the hitbox is
Yeah.
I believe it's like
Mm-hmm.
remember when I was saying 2D is
Yeah.
where would 2D hit Slayer right here?
It would hit him on his like standing leg.
The exact spot where he doesn't have a hitbox. Okay, and then 6P. Bro. Okay, don't ever burst this block string ever. Reason
Okay.
why is because like even though close slash and a far slash is a gatling into each other, it's a link player, right? And because it's a link, that means that it will recover before your burst comes out.
Yeah.
It doesn't even do the optimal punish. If you did the optimal punish, it would have been ugh. Now, backdash. Great anti-air by him. After this round, I'm gonna hit. And I think it'll improve your. Okay, so what did we learn from this round?
He he's very good at anti-airing.
Yeah.
Um he knows how to bait burst like
Yeah.
well from like his good like block strings.
Right.
He can do cross he did cross up Oki on grab, which is one of the better uh mix ups from standing grab, if I believe. Um and overall I should be jumping way less against him because his anti-air options are I mean not his options, but the way he uses his options are very acute. That's my takeaway from this.
There's one more thing that you're missing.
One more thing that I'm missing. Um he's making me block a lot of stuff in here.
You're very close.
Hit me with it. That's the
Oh,
best I
okay.
have.
Okay. Do you know which Mappa hunch he likes?
P. So far I've only seen P.
Yeah, so the plus one, right?
Okay.
So what's important about the plus one?
Don't mash afterwards.
That's true, but there's another thing that you got to remember.
I don't know if you're talking plus on hit or plus on block.
Plus on block.
Plus on block. if I hang around in the air, it can go under me, and if I don't commit to an air option, he probably also has a hard time anti-airing me.
Okay, so the point of the plus one and why it's important is that when a Slayer does the plus Mappa Hunch, actually at a further distance away from you, right? Because remember,
Yeah.
at the start of the round when he did Mappa Hunch, right, and it hit you, okay? And then he tried pressing 5K, which is like one of the best normals in the video game. It didn't even make you block
Yeah.
because of how much distance the Mappa Hunch forced him to take.
Okay,
So,
so unless it's point blank, he can't really force me to block anything, even though he's plus.
yes. So, and he did it like 3 times this round, right? So he can frame trap you still with other options, but the point is that there's one option that you're not thinking about because he's good.
Uh, I don't know.
You can jump out of pressure.
I mean, I don't go into that set with like without that mentality. It's not like I go into the set like thinking he's good at anti-airing.
Right.
Uh,
But
but
like but like the
if
point,
anything, I will be more restrained from jumping because he anti-aired me like 3 times in this round.
right, that's what I mean. But like the thing is that you sort of ignored the jump option because you recognize that he was good at anti-airing. But the thing is that the plus situation on Mappa Hunch creates an opportunity for you to jump out of pressure safely, right? Which I know isn't the best situation, right? But it's still better than like I'm just going to raw dog block everything, right? Because at least
Yeah,
you still have your movement. You could get a steal out, and you're preventing him from command grabbing you, right?
yeah, okay.
So
I mean, I'm confusing getting anti-aired with jumping out of pressure. Those are not the same thing.
yes, exactly, exactly. That's exactly.
I think there's something wrong too with picking this option first when I do
Yes,
Oki.
yeah, against Slayer, yes. Okay. Now,
Well, I meant
uh,
more like in general because it's like an out of the box thing that could remain hidden for like longer than the first Oki. That's what I mean.
well, I think it's okay to pick, but I'm going to explain to you why it's bad against Slayer. Okay,
Okay.
the reason why it's bad against Slayer is that against an experienced player, this setup is getting BDC'd, and he's out of the corner. Not out of the corner. He's out of the. Want to know how you prevent a Slayer player from BDCing you ever?
No,
Press task B. Want to know
it beats
why?
out. Can't they RFD that though?
Uh,
Are you plus on RFD?
well, the thing is that BDC, the way BDC works is that they're still grounded. The action happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe Task B is active for 36 or so. So
Okay.
the big thing is that it catches unless they do a specific setup, okay, which forces them to do the you know how on Slayer if you hold the double dash forward, it does a longer dash.
Yeah.
They are forced to do a version of BDC where they do that, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the best thing about that situation is that the counter for that version of BDC that you just do nothing after replaying task B.
And at that point, you can throw them. You can like 2K them. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, the whole 9 yards. Like it's just free game. So task B super powerful, like mega powerful in this matchup. and forcing him to block a single task B seal is a Slayer player's nightmare.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
But luckily, he messed up the BDC setup because he crossed him up. Okay, so you keep prioritizing this task A, task A wire C setup, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like, I know we just went over how powerful task B is in this matchup, but even in the other matchups, you were still going for this setup instead of going for task B pressure.
Yeah, I think that's also part. I think part of the reason why is because I just want to get better at it, so I just want to do it more.
Oh, okay, well then I'll excuse it then. But just so you know, task B pressure is way better than task A wire C setup.
Yeah, you get a lot of reward from hitting this though, so I want to be able to hit this more consistently. Hence why I do it a lot.
Well,
It's
you
I'm new to it.
you
Normally I would
get
just task B replay here, but the combo is cool, so I thought I want to do the combo, and I didn't do the combo.
you get a lot of reward out of this setup, but the thing is that task B pressure is more rewarding because like fishing for counter hits is the name of the game, baby. Right here, this is just like you just need to. You'll get better
Okay.
at it the more about it that he's FDing you, because the way I do these blocks, didn't I see my opponent like, well, you do task A, Y, or C, right? And right
They're
here
already
at the
flashing FD, yeah.
yeah, they're already flashing FD. So like right here, I would still do the empty 2K, right? And then you do close left, right?
Mm-hmm. And then like
Well,
2H or something.
I wouldn't do 2H. What's a really stay back in?
I mean, seal, but yeah,
I mean, you have a seal, but the thing about the seal is that they can jump out, right?
yeah. A really good way to stay back in is just jumping, jump canceling.
Jump canceling's bad because it always leaves a gap.
That's true. Another thing I could do is if I wouldn't go for 2K, like a frame trap or something.
You're forgetting about one important normal that is really good in this situation.
6H.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly right. Okay.
yeah. I was thinking too far ahead. I was thinking like frame trap into 6H, but 6H itself. Yeah,
Yeah, 6H itself, like right here on your cold slash, I would just be like, okay, I am now pressing 6HS. Because the best thing about it is that, again, it's special cancelable, so you can always go back to replaying this. And then also moves you forward, so you're. It's a level 4 normal, so he is draining hella FD meter.
oh, does that also impact FD? Okay.
Yes.
I thought that was normal. That like the damage the normal would do that would impact FD. I didn't think it was level based. That's interesting.
It is level based. Like, there's a reason why people say it's better to FD light normals because the pushback is stronger on light normals, and you less meter.
I see. Okay.
So like, are you familiar with fighting Leo?
I fought him, but I wouldn't say that was very successful because I don't really know how he functions properly.
A very common strategy against Leo is that when he's in front stance, you IB him, but when he's in back turn stance, you FD him. And the reason being is that in back turn stance, he has way bad options to deal with FD.
I see. I should be guarding Helter Skelter low because it's a mid, and that means that he can't fuzzy me there.
I mean, the issue is that is that you commit to meter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Block it low, right? Block it low, and you prevent him from fuzzying you. The issue is that like he have to fuzzy you. Like he can command grab you there if he wanted.
Yeah, that's true, but like it's like a thing in general because it does mean that if I block the normal, I can be hit by overhead moves more easily or like jumping normals.
Well, this is just me like doing that thing where I'm just trying to simplify the situation. I guessed wrong, and then I just move on. But I know a lot of people like they'll be down on themselves because they guessed wrong, and then they'll continue like just. I always try to like keep like a level. Okay. In this situation, instead of task A here.
Sure. What should I do?
Okay, so as you have 100 meter now, establish that task B is super powerful. Task B.
Just TK task B, just see
Yes,
what happens.
TK task B. If he blocks it, you get a seal, right? Because remember we went over that earlier. You get a seal.
Yeah. Okay.
And then 2, if he doesn't block it, you get a knockdown, right?
Okay.
And then like if it whiffs, you have a task B seal on the screen. It becomes way harder for him to approach you. Oh, eventually you did it. See, this is what I'm saying. See, look at how good this is.
That was an air throw attempt. I did it sloppy input.
I just wanted to talk about these air dash attempts, air dash attempts.
Mm-hmm.
When you have task A out like this, or out like this, right? Backdashes. Like you can visibly recognize that he backdashed, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the scariest thing that you can do?
Scariest thing he could do is
No, not him. You.
dandy step crosswise heel.
No, not him. You.
Oh,
Scariest thing
me.
you can do.
Uh, is my my answer is approach with an IOD, I guess, because
Well,
I would lock him down and force him to
you
block ball and then do a mix up.
you did do that, but better way to approach him. Walk forward.
Okay.
The reason why is because you have this ball covering you in front of you. If he IEDs at you, you have time to 6P him. And then if he tries to do anything, this horizontal task A is just going to stuff it. And then you get a free confirm. And then, because you're walking forward, your tension gain is insane.
Okay.
So it's literally like a quadruple threat. Let's watch the situation play out, and let's think about what would have happened if you, right? So he jumped up twice, and then he came back down, right? Like
Which means that if I would have just walked up, I wouldn't have wasted time and just like far slashed him after he got hit by the ball.
exactly. Like you would just be. Remember when I was saying that like you either move forward or you're standing still.
Mm-hmm.
Here, notice his movement. Like see how he's backdashing. He's pushing himself in the corner. He's doing exactly what you do, right?
Yeah, and
And
then I don't deny him his escape. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And then now he's in the corner and he has to eat it. Yeah, on situations like this, I don't discourage pressing 2D like at all. Like Just
So many active
putting
frames, so much range frame to run into.
so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, like basically, like you could just uh, like I would be
Yeah, like
actually
well, like when he whiffs bite, it's like, what's he gonna do? Like he can jump over me or something, but yeah. Okay.
okay. So what have we done?
Um, I need to rewatch that to answer that.
Not at round start, but
Backdash bounce round start. Yeah. I'll put myself in the corner again.
you put
Without.
yourself
Yeah.
in the corner again. Okay.
It's like this character got insane corner carry. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah,
I,
it's
I
me.
carry myself to the
I
corner.
carry myself. Yeah, that's right. That's fun. I've never thought about doing something like that.
Yeah, counter hit close slash. No need to like cancel it. You can just walk up close slash again. Yeah, most definitely. I did it because I thought he was gonna cross up.
I would have done it again.
Helios.
The reason why, because he thinks he's conditioned you.
Fair. Yeah.
It's like the DP situation.
It's like I'm a genius. I baited this out, and
Yeah.
then you do it again. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's also kind of finicky because it's like he crosses you up because it's a weird input, but that's nothing.
Right here, a big thing about Slayer defense is like, no, you got counter hit by 2K, you still have time to press 2K and stuff him.
Yeah, or like just grab him, do anything.
Well, I wouldn't suggest doing grab because if you have HS, you're dead. Like 2K.
Yeah, I was not ready for that mix up. Like the smoke really hides how what he's doing. It's kind of like what's it called? Fucking Potemkin's like tornado move. Like it's
Yeah.
like a discount version of that.
SB. Okay, replay. What's the setup? Okay, this is fine. Task B again. Ooh. Right here, instead of just moving on.
I thought
Reason.
I jail into my thought process was because I jail into a level 2 normal. He's going to jump out, so I'd rather do 5 task A.
The thing is that like that he's FD, and remember he has to like FD. That's going to delay his jump out. But I'm not saying that you have to be that smart to be thinking about that. Task B, and in this situation where it does jump out, you can prevent. Right? Whereas now you've thrown out a task A, you've used YRC, and now it's
Okay.
right here, I would be mashing Mad Dog, where he wire seized it.
And what would you mash? Would you mash like 2p or would you like mash throw? Because
Active lows. Active lows.
because
That's what I
I feel
mash.
like if I press 2k there, I like 2k in the original direction. Like, do you know what I mean? Or does that not really happen in your
Oh,
experience?
I need. Thing is that I think like even if you 2K.
Okay.
Active lows, yes. Hit him with the active lows. Then replay Tasby. Oh. Tasby again. See, look at how much. See how much he has to commit just to
Yeah.
try and get away from this. He's like,
Fucking
please,
that dandy YRC just to fucking forget about
just
my
to.
mix up, and then again he's still in the corner. So
Yeah, he's still blocked it too. Okay, good.
suffer from an illness that makes me chronically backdash on round start. Need to get that
Right.
checked out.
And put yourself with fencing.
Can't say I've ever done it, but I know what it is.
Do you know the rules?
Don't get hit.
Okay, that is one of the rules, but there's another rule. Do you know the mat that they play on?
Yeah.
Do you know how there's a line at each end?
Yeah, and like if you cross it, you like lose a point.
You have to have both your feet cross it, right?
Okay.
You are literally playing like a fencing player who will back up all the way to the edge of that line and just play on
And
the
then put
edge.
one foot like one big toe over the line. Like, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
cool, I can play now. Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
okay.
that's literally how you're playing. Betting he's gonna go for unblockable here.
Undertow? No, he doesn't do
I can
that.
smell it. I can sniff it.
No, they're not that crazy. I think I'm just deader than that here. I got anti by the 2S here.
Already talked about. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's the end of the Vaunt.
Yes.
Do you have any other Vaunts you want to go over?
I'll record more. This is the only thing that I've uploaded to YouTube and the only thing that I've actually like uploaded for like analysis. Because I just go in the game and check my replays from there, but there's only like a cap of 100, so I want to get some matches again. I want to like critically analyze some matches against Venom, definitely, and I want to really like dig into why. I mean, Venom first of all, because Venom is like a very annoying character for me to fight. Because I don't grasp how like where his disadvantage lies outside of just 3H swim ball.
Okay.
And Raven is a very tough one for me because I feel like I got punished for existing, even though most of the time it's just they do rising JS against me doing command movement because I'm in the air so much.
Do you have any Closing questions for me.
Um,
Clarification.
yeah. How do I? Hmm. I had a question just now.
If you need, we can go over. We can look at some of my look at like.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
This is me versus.
Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted to ask.
Oh,
So a big part to me about Batman that like once you make people block is like okay, if you can condition them to like 6p your V jump attempts to get in, you can also start conditioning them to do that and then float back down to H. Um, to
counter
for
hit.
example, I do like close slash, far slash, and then I jump and anticipating their 6p or something, I float back down, like down back and do 2H. Um, is that a good way of structuring like more safe offense, or is
Um,
there something else I should be doing?
a younger me would think that like that is how you're supposed to play Bedman, but I would say only pull that out rarely. The reason why is because better players become, the worse command movement becomes, right? So like less you have to use, better.
Okay.
But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm telling you not to use command movement. I think you need to be very good at using it.
Mm-hmm.
But is that inherently better players jump into command movement, and if they're close enough, you're air thrown instantly, like just right away.
Yeah, that's something that I do notice when finding like really good players. They see me jump up, they just YRC, and I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck in the air, being unable to do anything for like 100 frames because it slows me down, and I can't
Yeah,
input any other move besides like an air special.
yeah. So like the idea of baiting 6Ps, like that's a good way of thinking about it. That it's better to structure your play in a way that uses the rest of your kit back up your weakness. Right? So
All
that's
right.
why we talked about how, hey, don't approach a person got a seal out. You know,
Yeah, I got you.
make sure that your opponent's blocking and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the question I had. When one of the biggest things that I really want to get better at is getting task A on the screen because DVA is the best projectile in the game almost, in my opinion. It is so good.
yes,
It
I
like
agree. I agree.
it has almost no startup. Yeah, it's stupid that it's just out there and it goes back and like you can send it along the floor and it will just control ground perfectly. It's like really good. But when it comes to like sending out task A and protecting my seals, that's what I wanted to ask. How do you like it's part of the stand your ground thing, but what is like a good like how do I get in the habit of like protecting my seals without like ignoring like okay, just don't backdash so people can hit them for free. That's self-explanatory. But
The
like
first
how do you go about that?
first thing you got to remember is that if you replay a seal, it's not active on the screen.
Yeah, they can't hit it.
They can't hit it. Okay. Uh, Second is that uh, don't really need to babysit the seals. It's more so about making sure that they're active as much as possible.
Yeah, when I mean like protecting seals, I mean more like once they're set up and like the attack is finishing, like for example, I send task A out and like the seal's placed. How do I prevent like the opponent from just going after the seal and preventing DVA from like just like existing by doing like an attack that covers both me and DVA? Because what I think I should do is like, okay, I can bait them going for like a JP onto it, and I can like JS them back or something like that.
Want my honest opinion?
Sure.
If somebody is honestly putting that much effort in trying to clear a deja, like I sort of prioritize it based on what seal it is. If somebody is working that hard to deja vu a seal, I honestly let them do it. The reason why is because as they're sitting there, like trying to clear the deja vu A seal,
Yeah, that is true.
right? Now, if it was like a task A prime, I'd protect that thing at all costs. If it was a task B, I wouldn't really protect it at all costs, but if I can, without making a huge risk, I'd protect it. And a task C seal, I'd protect that at all costs.
Okay. About task A prime, I heavily underutilize it because
You're scared,
uh,
I'm
yeah,
assuming.
yeah, I'm scared to use it because if they IB it, it's +6. If it's +6, does that mean that close slash jails flawlessly into it, or does that mean that they can DP on the first available frame?
No. So like, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Task A prime sucks. Like really badly, okay? Because there are specific OSs in the game that will cover every single option that you have out of Task A Prime except for backdash.
Okay.
But I know for a fact very few people know that OS. So
Yeah.
don't be too scared.
No, I know that.
Um
I know that. And it's also not about like, oh, hitting is so hard because there's plenty of ways to combo into it, or there's plenty of ways to just okay, I throw and like do it now, you know. So it's not hitting it that's like hard, but it's like what do I gain out of it that I wouldn't gain out of it like doing something else.
my playstyle actually uses a lot of Task A Prime, so
All right. Because in my mind, like, oh, it's already so hard to set up like task A. Why would I even bother trying to set up task A prime?
mind you, this VOD is from 2018.
Oh, I doubt that. I doubt that. I doubt that the match is bad. Yeah,
Like
I
the
was just
stream.
like thinking, like, am I going crazy or is this like 125?
Okay, let's go back. Not like I protected summon it and then watch.
Yeah,
See how I'm like I'm creating this, I'm extending my block string, right? For that. Did you see it?
yeah, okay. And that always works even if they're crouching. I see. Unless it's a very tip.
So you see this JH.
Yeah.
How do you think I did it?
To delete their FD.
No. Well, that's if they FD'd, but I actually am doing it for a different reason here.
Crank risk.
No. You never have a game plan that
All right. Um, I don't know.
okay, the reason why is because JH auto baits defensive options.
Oh yeah, it auto. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because it auto baits burst. It auto baits that angle. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and see
I
how
forgot
much
about
meter
that for
he
a second.
has? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do. Block it, because I wired.
So why do you like air that? Like why do you command normal there? So like you
Like
yeah
right
like
before
right
that.
about there. Because like okay he goes on the you, you're both in neutral, and without a seal backing you up, you do this.
Okay, so
Not to
why?
say like oh you told me this was wrong, why you do it, but like more curious as to like how do you know he was going to go for a low poke? Like how did you gather that?
Because this happened. Remember when I was talking about like attack levels and how plus you are when you jump?
Mm-hmm.
Because I hit him, I'm more plus on this hit,
I
right?
mean you didn't jump cancel it though.
No, I did. Watch.
No, you recover. Oh, you might have jump canceled it late. Okay, you jump canceled it late. My fault.
right? And then
Yeah.
as I'm jumping, remember, I'm always watching my opponent when I'm playing. Literally pressing a button, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I would not just jump at a person. I went for throw because I want to
Yeah.
condition for throw.
You don't use throw OS? Or is
You
that
get when you get high. I'm supposed to be throw OSing, but eventually, like I talk to other top level players, and some of them don't throw OS, and some of them do. Eventually, it starts becoming a situation where it doesn't.
Yeah, because like you should be hitting what you were expecting to like hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, see how like talk about this situation. I went ham earlier in the match. I hit him with a tech task B, right? So then I attempted it again, right? And then I'm jumping up here to air throw him, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I burst, I throw out task A, okay? I jump, okay? And then I approach him because I have task A, and he blocked it visibly, okay? And then we trade with this task A, okay? And you might be thinking like, Bryce, you told me not to super jump. Why are you super jumping? I have a task A seal on the screen.
Yep. All right.
And then I go back in because I have a task A seal on the screen. Guess wrong on the mix.
Is that just a high low and like nothing to do about
Oh,
it?
he dropped it. Never mind.
Is Mistfinder at that point like still like a high low, nothing to do about it? All right.
He is visibly now really anti-tiered me. Like, he really anti-tiered me. So let's talk about this task C that I just did. Okay, you might be like, Bryce, why task C? You told me not to task C like this. Well, if you notice, always watching my opponent. Oh, what's that? He forward dashed? What's that? He's preparing a misfiner? That means he has to commit to one of 3 directions on his misfiner. So I want to call his bluff. His bluff well.
All right.
Now, remember when I told you that you need to start data?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See how at like the start of this round, now that it's been a whole game, I'm like, I can now do my wild card option,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I get rewarded for it. And see how like, remember earlier when you were like, Bryce, why'd you jump cancel? I got the hit. I got the hit. That's why I jump cancel. Just like earlier.
Now it looked kind of weird earlier because you jump canceled it in its recovery.
It was just a little delayed. Yeah. And now I'm in. Okay, so remember earlier when I told you, hey, you need to be watching for when somebody FDs you.
Mm-hmm.
Watch how I get a knockdown. Play. 2K. Instantly recognize that he is FDing me.
All right.
Cut the block string short. See how I cancel the 5HS on 1 instead of 2?
Yeah.
I go into 2HS, and then I replay, right? And then, remember earlier when I said, like, you can still throw after replaying the task B, right? I throw out task A, way up there. I got time, baby. And guess what seal I just threw down?
Task A prime, okay.
Task A prime. Here it comes, baby. And I want him to get hit by it. I'm trying to force it. I went up for the air throw. And I guessed wrong. And that's the round.
It is what it is.
Okay. That might look weird. But what is Johnny's like most popular round start?
Most likely 2S. I haven't played much against Johnny, so I couldn't tell you, but I
Okay,
would
his
guess
most
something
popular
like
round
2S.
start is like everybody.
Hmm. Okay.
Now this is a secret hidden tech that I don't teach all the bit.
You
If
can
you
walk on
walk,
the coin, can't
you
you?
can walk under coin at round start, and that's what I was doing.
All right. I mean, you made him waste a lot of coins already. So, what do you do when task C is blocked like that? Because it's -3, potentially -5, which is like
You block
punishable,
and
but
hope they
not
didn't
not
IB.
likely to be punished. So, what do you do there?
Block and hope they didn't IB.
Okay.
I was making a risk. Look at okay. So remember, coin is like super good in Johnny block strings. It's very similar to gunflame, right? And the
Yeah,
moment I saw it, I was like, I'm paranoid, and I gotta punish.
and it's amazing that he doesn't get the level up from it either.
Okay, I want you to notice how I use my meter here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about throwing out task A, but then I see him clearly visibly forward dash, right?
Yeah.
And remember, you can cancel your forward dash into 6K, and 6K is like danger zone, right? So instantly I'm like, I'm out of here. But instead of immediately committing to something, I'm walking back and forth.
Yeah.
And then he
Okay.
tried to bait my burst. I knew he would. And then task A prime! And then
Oh.
he dead angled, but it's like, he was that scared of task A prime. But task A prime comes again! That's me trying to do the YRC tech, but he crossed. I do win these. There are a couple that I win.
No, no, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it. I'm enjoying all the ones that you aren't, and which you will. Don't worry. Yeah, you jump in because that's
So
where
so
like the
so
normal
like
comes back. Then yeah.
see how I backdash at this round start, but factor here is I literally stand my ground. See, I'm not
Yeah,
going any
like
further.
after creating space, you use set space to like good
Great.
advantage instead of just creating space for the sake of running away. Can you also cancel Johnny forward dash into FT?
Johnny is everything, so
Oh, okay.
see how like I am just always on top of task A. That's what I mean by like, how do you get task A? Oh, I'm just thinking about having task A. I want it out. See, I don't
Yeah.
even go for a confirm at round start because I want. Hey, I know that he wants to approach, so I press A prime. Ball. 9 plus. Nightmare. Yeah, let's go. Hit him with all the stuff. All the.
Oh yeah, how
Ooh.
does like taking down in the air work?
You don't tech down. It's only left and right.
Under some situations, your air tech can like not bring. What the fuck? Yeah, welcome, welcome to this.
Welcome
Oh
to
my
join.
goodness. As in some situations, when you're falling from the air, you can air tech without it actually like popping you back up.
Oh, that's just neutral tech.
That's okay. Maybe you can only do it while going down. Because I'd love to be able to do that because it means I can land earlier without like slumping on the floor.
See how like I attempt to replay it to make out of space, and he
Mm-hmm.
can't clear it, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so here, remember earlier when we were talking about like IB of DPs? Here I go for AD setup, like an instant overhead setup, and even though I do it on purpose because I haven't been touched, I get hit by J, but look at how much damage it does.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh yeah, all the frame traps.
Is that a legit setup? Jump over DVB?
Yeah, it's real.
All right.
I tend to delay it to bait.
And sometimes when I land on the other side of him, I get thrown instantly.
Gotta,
I might just be doing it wrong though.
gotta time your task speed. See how I wait? Like I literally made him block air task B, which is minus like a billion, but because he was blocking the returning task A, I was safe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, such awareness is it will come with time. So when do you go for like Helios combos or like do you never go for those?
I typically don't go for them. They don't happen that often. Okay, see how the last time I did a task A prime on block and he had meter for dead angle? I memorized that and was like, here's the dead angle.
Yeah, okay.
And now you can see how I use task A prime.
Mm-hmm.
I basically bully them. Loving arms.
I do that is a problem that I do need to fix internally, is that I doom a lot about some aspects of Batman, which are unavoidable because the game is never getting patched again, so there's no use to it.
Well,
But
that's
it
what
does
that's what
sometimes still happen.
I meant by like trust XP.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's enough. Vaughn. Any final questions?
My final questions. I had final questions. Now final. Um so be more. So I just need to be more confident. I need to hold my ground better. And when it comes to like specific character stuff, those will like come with time, and I can like iron those out myself because I can look at like characters like these gap, so X is possible. Uh, explore my options better regarding that. I think that was all for now. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Well, I hope that this felt productive for you. I think it felt productive. But
I
yeah.
think it was because it showed how much of a how cowardly I play when it is very very detrimental. Because it's not like zoner cowardice. It's like I wish that you weren't in the same game as me kind of
Yes,
cowardice. Like as in I
yes,
want to get out of
exactly.
this ring kind of cowardice, which is not good. So I'm going to be trying to get better at that. I'm going to be
6P.
also what I'm going to be doing. Yes, 6P is looking like starting each match with like a blank slate against the player, and then scouring options from there.
Yes, that is a great way to get better at playing fighting games. Insane way.
Every player is the same until they aren't. That's the
Yep.
yeah.
But the only adjustment I'd say about that is that like don't be scared to throw in like matchup stereotypes onto a person when you see what character they play.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Like if I see a Raven and they do like stance at any point, I'm gonna be like, okay, so you know how to stance where I see.
Yeah, and then you throw them. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
All
basically
right.
it.
Thank you very much. Maybe in the future, like a couple months from now or something, we can sit down again and like see if I have improved or not.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
All right. Well, it's been a blast. Thank you very much for helping me. I thank you very much. That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
yeah, no problem.
All right.
Just tell Drifter to believe us.
I have no control over that, man.
You can just at him right now and say, "Hey,
Add
believe
him right now and tell him
us."
to. Okay, I will.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right. I'll give him that advice for you giving me your advice. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Later.
Okay, I hope that was productive.